Oh, good morning, everybody. Tashitele, and we begin the part two, Siddhas, and we start with lineage prayer.
大家早晨好，我们今天开始讲来自噶地的大成就者的第二部分，我们开始做开始开课前的祈祷。
Oh, Lama, and the lineage prayer, you may notice there's like Doji chanting Telo Naruto Maba Pila. Should be Mila.
I know there's some mistake. Yeah. 传承祈请文，Lama 说这个有一个字写错了。
The sound. Oh, Doji chanting Telo Naruto Maba Mila Gamboda Tazanjenda Kanjenga Mama Chijanje Jubanzenada Dedayam Zazayam Bhadendu Salam Chaja Chilanganyebe Nyamindrangayam Taboyngajela Savandezoya Kajulamayana Jubayan Zainoyan Andayan Jela Yeno Gamje Kambaya Sambaya Henoyan Gunoyan Jayele Tende Chebe Gajela Nyegara Jembaya Meva Jela Logo Gamje Go Sombaje Mengo Yandirego Jebela Mala Yanda So Debe Gamjela Oh, thank you, once again, greetings to everyone, and so happy you are here.
大家扎西德勒，很高兴大家又回来听课。
As a practitioner, one of the concept is very happy that we are still alive.
作为一个修行者呢，我们应该因为我们还活着，应该感到非常欢喜。
We are able to eat, able to talk, able to smile, able to walk, able to practice. So able is very important. If we are not able to do those stuff, then it's hard to practice as well.
我们现在能吃能睡，能说话，能走路，还能修行，这个能是非常重要的。如果不能的话呢，我们就连修行也没有办法做了。
So we are continuing the book review or teaching on Siddhas of God.
我们继续来学习来自噶地的大成就者这本书。
So the Siddha in Tibetan term is Trito or true and to.
西达这个词呢，在藏文中是叫主拓，是2个字的。
So what does before we go into the actual teaching, please make sure that everyone genuinely generating bodhicitta.
拉玛提醒大家，就是在听课之前呢，首先要发起菩提心。
Thinking that the following 2 hours is fully dedicated for the benefit of all sentient beings, and instead of with a lot of distraction, negative emotions, the wasting 2 hours and accumulate a lot of negative karma.
思维呢，就下面的2个小时呢，我们要全然的、完全的回向给所有的众生，而不是呢，就是处在放逸中，或者是沉溺在这些负面的情绪之中，而耽误了、浪费了这2个小时。
And so Siddha to talk is there are 2 different siddhis to achieve the common siddhi and uncommon siddhi.
那么这个西达就是成就者的意思呢，它是有成就是包括2种成就的，一种呢是世间的共同成就，一种是出世间的不共成就。
So common siddhi can be achieved through by many different religion masters, like in India, like Hindu practitioners. So basically using shamatha meditation and also relying on many worldly local deities or such.
那这个共同的成就呢，是很多的宗教通过很多的修持都是可以获得的，比如说印度教的各种修持，等等，通过止的修持，加上依靠各种世间的神奇，这样它都是能够获得的。
And of course, once again, these powerful individuals who actually sometimes practice fire or sun, and sometimes that's why historically they could also destroy like temples or such through such meditation, and these once again use powerful mind and a little bit of bad intention.
那有一些很有力量、具足力量的一些人呢，他通过这个拜日啊、拜火呀，就是修持这些呢，也能够成就某种的神通。比如在历史上也有这样的，他们成就了这些力量，可以摧毁一些寺庙，通过他们的禅定力就可以摧毁。这是呢，通过用他们的心力以及一些就是这个负面的发心完成的。
Also through different mantras and even like a practitioner, like in Buddhism practitioners, if we don't use this path according to Dharma, as Gambupa mentioned, how to practice Dharma is not important, but how practicing Dharma is alone is not important, but how we practice Dharma is very important.
那也是通过一些咒力等等的，同样的就是对我们这个佛弟子来说呢，佛法的行人来说，如果我们不能够如法的履见佛道，就像冈波巴尊者所说的，其实修持本身呢并不是重要的，而是你如何来修持才是最重要的。
And then uncommon siddhi is only could achieve if practitioners truly practice, like we are talking about Mahasiddhas here. Someone practice Mahamudra and goes beyond any objects or concepts.
而出世间的不共成就呢，就是像我们这里所要讲的这种大成就者，像他们那样真实的来修持，像修持大手印的教法，是要超越这个能所二元对境的。
And so these great masters not only practicing this Mahamudras, such Vipassana meditation, but also most importantly, from beginning to the end, combined with bodhicitta.
这些大成就者，他们不仅仅是修持大手印的止观等等，而是呢从开始自始至终呢，他都是保持着菩提心的。
And last weekend we talked about the definition of Namtara or biography, and if someone like a lesser lesser capacity individual could liberate from lower realms by studying and practicing or by hearing the biography, and then intermediate capacity could achieve could free from samsara, completely from samsara, and then a higher capacity to achieve enlightenment. So this is very special meaning, because all of us who are teaching or listening can be one of them. One of those capacities.
那上个星期我们讲的时候说到了这个 Nantar， 就是解脱的这个传记的它的意义，就是说呢，听闻者呢，如果是小根的听闻者呢，他就可以从对于这个圣者的这个传记的听闻闻思修呢，就可以从三恶道中解脱，而中根的行者呢，听闻闻思修成就者的传记呢，他能够完全的获得从轮回中解脱。然后大根的上根的这个修持者呢，就通过闻思修解脱者的传记呢，就能够获得证悟。所以呢，这是具有非常殊胜的意义的，因为我们作为讲的人和听的人呢，就可能属于这三根的之一。
And so last weekend we talked about the the first Kama Satya, and today we talk about the second Kama Satya.
上一次我们讲了第一世的 Gamma Satchu 的故事，那么今天开始讲第二世 Gamma Satchu。
And here's something to keep in our mind, is that the first Kama Satya, why we call first Kama Satya, is because he was not recognized, reincarnated master, and so he was just a beginner like us who achieve enlightenment.
这里就是要再复习一下呢，就是为什么称为是第二世的或者第一世的 Gamma Satchu 呢？因为第一世的 Gamma Satchu 呢，他呢不是被认证的转世活佛等等的，他呢一开始也是像我们一样的初学者。
And so the Kama Satya here, when we talk about second or first to second, it's not a reincarnated master. It's they are name someone name as a Kamasachu, the second Kamasachu, because it's it's same name, so we call it second Kamasachu. So it's easier to understand. Otherwise, you might think we are talking about same individual that we taught last time.
So you mean this Kamasachu is not a reincarnation of the first one?
No.
OK 那所以呢，这个我们叫做第二位伽马萨主，不是第二世的伽马萨主。因为他们是同样的名字，所以这个地方可能有一点错误翻的，应该是第二位的伽马萨主，只是为了跟第一位区别一下。
And so, as we taught before, the homage and also dedication, and so I will chant the homage first.
就是我们之前讲的那个模式，就是我们首先来念诵一下礼敬文。
Tuji baba ngada losa donya je tuda temba je sere bala da je tuji zoba kanje laga je da o tuji tuve nyuba tambala do. You were as tough as Lord Marba, the translator. Your commitment rivaled Jetri Malarepa's. The depth of your bodhicitta equaled Genesis. I bow to you, holy being, drunk on realization.
这个李静文说，坚韧犹如马尔巴大义师，精进堪比劫尊、米拉尊，菩提之心甚深等观音，最解脱乐尊者我顶礼。
And you may see this liturgy or the terminology saying drunk on realization basically means that someone always remain in the nature of mind and enjoying the feast of experience of realization.
大家可能看到这个礼敬文中说到最解脱乐，最解脱乐呢，就是说这个行者呢，就是恒常的安住在心性中，享受着这个他的觉受的大宴，这个意思。
And now the actual biography. The second Kamasachi was a monk of Tangu Akaju Monastery who achieved Siddhi because of imprisonment.
那第二世的伽马萨楚呢，他是噶举寺庙创古寺的一位僧人，他是因为被关在监狱里的因缘而获得洗礼的。
Then continues author's note that the second Kamasachi was my kind guru's uncle.
那作者注呢，就是拉玛伽玛他注解的说，第二世的伽马萨楚呢，第二位伽马萨楚是我仁慈上师的叔叔。
Can I confess something? I think I made a mistake. I confused another story. So Kamasachi was the second reincarnation.
OK。喇嘛说呢，他可能是跟另外一个故事同名的故事搞错了。其实这个伽马萨楚就是那个第一位伽马萨楚的转世，确实是第二世的。
我出错拔错了。
记错了。
Sorry.
对不起。
I have a mistake is part of my life. 错了是我的生活当中的一个离不开的东西。And so first Kamasachi, they are like, if you look at other masters, there are many like Dupan Rinpoche, right? The Dupan Rinpoche of the Tsubu Monastery, and he was, someone highly realized within that life, and then recognize the second one. So at the beginning, he wasn't such, reincarnation of such, but he was very dedicated to practice and achieved realization, and then that's how he was recognized. So Kamasachi is similar to that story.
那伽马萨楚呢，他的故事呢，就是跟很多大成就者他们的故事很相像。比如说佐普寺的竹本仁波切，他在第一世的时候呢，就是非常的这个精进的，就已经非常就是有名闻的这个大成的修行者了。所以呢，他的第二世呢，就是这样被认证的。就是这个伽马萨楚也是这样，第一世的时候是一个就是平凡的人。
So author's note, the author is me, is that the second Kamasachi was my kind guru's uncle. So second Kamasachi was a relative of us, which was our beloved Khenpo Rinpoche's uncle.
这第二世伽马萨楚呢，就是作者呢，就是我拉玛伽马，他是我的亲戚，是有血缘关系的，是我们敬爱的堪布卡达仁波切的叔叔。
And then continues, the second Kamasachi was extremely aggressive in his youth, always fighting and invariably, INVARIABLY, how do you pronounce this?
Invariably
victorious.
第二世伽马萨楚他年轻的时候呢，非常好斗，总是跟人打架，但是总是能打赢。
Because he was well known for this, he was also arrogant. One day, he got into a fight with a Chinese man. Although Kamasachi won the fight, the other man charged him with assault.
他因此而闻名，也很为之骄傲。有一天，他跟一个中国人打了起来。虽然呢，伽马萨楚赢了，但是呢，对方却指控他伤害人身罪。
骄傲。As a result, Kamasachi was imprisoned and beaten with a bamboo flail that is called Bianzi in Chinese. This flail caused the victim's skin to split open. Kamasachi was subjected to 500 blows with it. Blows with it.
结果伽马萨楚就被监禁关起来了，然后呢，用一种竹子的这个叫做鞭子来殴打他。这个鞭子在这种竹制的这个链条呢，在中国被称为是鞭子。它能够让这个受害者的皮肤裂开。伽马萨楚呢就被鞭打了500下。
And this caused him to think, up to now, my every deed has been worldly. There isn't even a trace of virtue in me. Even worse, I'm putting my own life at risk. I will definitely devote however much life remains to me exclusively to holy Dharma.
这让他想到呢，说到目前为止，我的每一个行为都是世俗的，我身上连一丝美德都没有。更糟的是呢，我在拿自己的生命开玩笑，我一定要把剩下无论多少生命都完全奉献给佛法。
And with that stable vow, he practiced for the duration of his life in a red retreat or red cabin on the north side of Tong Monastery.
怀着这样坚定的誓愿呢，他尽余生呢都在创古寺北面的一个红色的闭关房修持。
So this is the cabin, the picture of the cabin.
这就是那个闭关房的一个照片。
So this is, as it says, north side of Trunk Monastery, and of course it's remodeled. It was there was only a wall, but now it's rebuilt, and Lamas doing retreat there.
这是在原来的创古寺的北面，其实这是一个重建的这个闭关所，以前的闭关房呢，已经只剩下一面墙了，现在是重建之后了，然后有喇嘛在里面闭关。
So why we call it red cabin is because historically one of Shama Rinpoche's incarnation also did a retreat, and then Shama Rinpoche, as we call Red Hat, and slowly that name kind of then it's named as Red Cabin.
为什么叫它红色闭关房呢？是因为有一世的夏玛仁波切在这里做过闭关，所以因为夏玛仁波切是属于红帽系的嘛，所以自然就沿袭下这个称号，说是红色的闭关房。
And Khenpo Rinpoche's his older brother, Khenpo Kama Tseon, known as Khenpo Katse, who also did 13 years retreat here.
堪纳仁波切的哥哥，他叫干玛次旺，或者叫嘎次的，他在这里做过了13年的闭关。
13 years, that's a lot. That's a lot. But so Khenpo Kama Tseon even did not escape during the revolution, and he was committed to remain in retreat, even it cost his life.
那他在这里做13年闭关的时候呢，就是就没有逃走，所以也就是在这里献出了他的生命吧，就是为了闭关，他没有出关。
And Khenpo Kama Tseon was Tangu Monastery's Khenpo, and also because of Khenpo Kama Tseon was very, very, like his face was white, and his cheeks were like red, and they nicknamed him as there's a fruit, what do you call it? Sometimes you can find mostly in China markets, and I love it. Sometimes you put in a yellow rice, or it's a red fruit.
Yellow rice.
Sometimes like a bag of red fruits, people bring to KTD, and inside there's seed,
You mean the goji?
I think so, goji berry or something.
Goji berry, yeah.
Not tingo berry.
因为那个堪布干玛次旺他是创古寺的堪布，因为他的脸白白的，然后那个双颊红红的，都特别像一个水果，就像枸杞，像。
And so that name kind of nickname came through my family lineage. Of course, not a surname or anything, but it's a nickname. Jayong Mari is the red goji berry family, have outstanding monks, and very good practitioners.
那这个他的就给他起了个外号叫枸杞，这个红枸杞，然后这个名字呢也成了我们家族就流传下来了，大家都这样称呼我们的家族，叫做 John Young Murray，说这是就是这种红枸杞这个家族，出了很多就是好的修行人和僧人。
And then Khenpo Rinpoche has the second brother. Excuse me. He also did like 11 years retreat in 3 retreat center, not here.
那堪布仁波切他的第二位哥哥呢，在那个3年闭关中心，不是在这个闭关房，做了11年的闭关。
And he was sometimes serving as retreat master, and his name was Dupan Sonam Dorje, retreat master Sonam Dorje. And in Tibet we kind of call the short name Sodo.
他的名字是他有的时候会做这个官方的指导上师，所以大家叫他呢朱本梭难多杰。藏人习惯呢把名字缩起来念，所以就是叫他梭多。
And his complexion was more like they nicknamed him as the blue resin.
Blue raisin?
Yeah, the resin, the resins we put in yellow rice.
Oh, raisin.
Blue color, the green color or blue color.
那他的脸色呢，他的肤色呢，可能就有点发黑，所以大家给他起外号呢，就是说是这个蓝的这个葡萄干儿。
So Khenpo Rinpoche used to make a joke that he is more like the Khenpo Katsis version. I'm more like his other older brother's version because I'm a little bit darker.
堪布仁波切呢，经常就是会开玩笑说呢，他自己呢像他的哥哥，是这个红枸杞的这个脸，然后说拉玛伽玛呢，他因为比较黑，所以说是像他这个第二个哥哥这个蓝葡萄干儿这个脸。
So when the revolution happened, before revolution happened, Khenpo Rinpoche went to both 3 retreat center, like the gate and also here, and kind of asking his 2 brothers to, let's go together to, India or like with the Trungpa Rinpoche group.
那西藏就是被这个解放军占领的时候呢，这堪布仁波切来到这个关房，也到了那个他另外一个哥哥闭关的地方呢，就分别要请求2位兄长呢跟他一起离开。
But both of them said that they have a commitment, and they are not leaving, and they will remain whatever happens.
但是2位兄长呢都坚持说呢，他们要坚守他们的誓言，所以他们无论发生什么，他们都不会离开的。
And then when they destroyed the change happened, and people kind of see that they were captured as a prison, and they both have like very long hair. The people could see that there are many other retreats that they all have long hair, kind of almost attached to the ground.
那他们就被抓起来了，他们2个，大家看到了，因为他们的头发非常长，因为做了多年的闭关是不剪头发的，所以那个他们，大家看到就他们头发很长，是被这2位被抓起来了。
So this place is very, very important for my family lineage as well, because the Kamasachu, who was my great uncle, did retreat, and then Khenpo Rinpoche's brother, and Khenpo Rinpoche himself, after he met the second younger Konchu, Padichinse, and he committed to do rest of his life in this retreat cabin.
这个闭关房对我这个家族来讲也是非常重要的，因为第二世伽玛萨楚他是堪布卡达仁波切的叔叔，然后呢， 这个堪布开泰仁波切自己呢，也在遇到了第20讲供康楚仁波切之后呢，也发愿呢，在这个地方做终身闭关，也在这里闭过关。
And Rinpoche said he sold most of his belongings and kind of, for the sake of food, and he even, sold his own robes, and he was wearing like a, a very warm kind of casual clothes. I mean, like a monastic robe, only one set or something. So he wanted to retreat rest of his life, and then after he did like about close to 3 years, and then the 8th Thali Rinpoche asked him to come out and said you have to go into Dharma school, Sheda in Tanga Monastery.
仁波切呢就卖掉了他所有的财物，换成食物，就是只留了一套僧袍，准备做终身的闭关的，但是闭到第3年的时候，差不多是第8世的查理仁波切呢就说你要出来去上佛学院。
And Thali Rinpoche said, don't expect you to achieve realization by staying in this cabin. Instead of study Dharma and will benefit more beings.
那查理仁波切说，你不要指望说就在这里就是闭终身关就可以获得证悟的，你要出来去上佛学院，然后这样能更多的利益众生。
So another word, like don't attach to your own personal retreat, but Thali Rinpoche sees that Khenpo Rinpoche will benefit many beings if he goes to Dharma school.
换句话说呢，查理仁波切的意思是说，你不要执着于自己的个人解脱，而是呢，查理仁波切呢，深深的知道堪布仁波切他去上佛学院的话，是会利益更多众生的。
And now my youngest brother, who was in Siddhas, the Dharma school for 7 years, and then he came back and did 3-year retreat back to back twice, and now he finished second 3-year retreat. So he sometimes do retreat in this place.
那我最小的弟弟呢，他在无名佛学院呢上了7年，然后呢也在这里做了2次3年的闭关了，他就是时常的会在这里做闭关。
Oh, Lama, no, he did 3 retreat back to back in a 3 retreat center, but now he sometimes does his retreat here.
OK，我说错了，他是说他的弟弟呢，也在那个3年闭关中心呢做过了2次3年闭关了，现在他时常会在这里做闭关。
So I feel, one of the reasons I go through Siddhas guys that there are so many unfamiliar, locations, especially like this, like a red Tsangkhom marble in Tibetan, the red cabin. I feel like if those of you even like see the image of it would benefit, as it has so much blessing there.
就是在这个来自藏地大成就者中呢，有很多这些地方都是我非常熟悉的，感觉非常亲切。然后，我是感觉到，如果大家哪怕只是看到这些地方，听到它的名字，都会得到很大的加持的。
So with second Kama Satyu, and when you hear the story, like because we are beginners and ordinary individual, and like you may have like the punishment was so severe, you may have like a resentment or such, but for Kama Satyu, that was the best thing ever happened to him. If this didn't happen, he would still be wild. So because of that suffering, and he caused him to practice Dharma intensively and achieve enlightenment.
对我们初学者，来说呢，就是像伽玛萨楚他的遭遇，比如说被关起来、鞭打，等等， 我们就会升起，自然的会升起嗔心，说这样的惩罚也太过严重了。但是实际上对伽玛萨去来讲呢，这是发生在他身上最好的事情了。不然的话呢，他还是非常一种不受控制的很野的一个粗野的状态。正是因为他受了这个苦，所以他才能够强烈的发起强烈修持的这个心来。
And let's see, so we from the book it continues. When he passed away, although he had been a tall man, his body shrank to the length of 1 cubit. This amazed and inspired everyone.
当伽玛斯第二世伽玛萨去去世的时候，虽然他生前十分的高大，但是他的身体呢缩小到只有1肘那么高，这让所有的人都非常的震惊和深受鼓舞。
And so this story, like except the dedication ends here, and like you might think, what's the amazing part of this story is that 3 things. One is a renunciation, and second is he practiced diligently, and then at the end he almost become rainbow body.
那故事到这儿就结束了。大家可能会说，这么简短的故事到底有什么意义呢？它有3个意义。首先呢是，他升起了强烈的出离心。第二呢是他就是以这个精进的大力去修行。第3点呢就是他最终呢，就是几乎已经成就了红光身了。
And when Khenpo Rinpoche did retreat there, his commitment was practice commitment was to do 100 million Oman Pemeho retreat. I remember that.
那当时堪布仁波切在这里做这个3年闭关的时候呢，他是准备做这个就是这个叫10亿的这个6字大明咒的闭关。
But he wasn't able to finish, and he was asked by Triyana Rinpoche because at the time the Dharma school invited a very special master. His name was Xieqing Gongzhi, was very, very special master of Xieqing Monastery of Nima, and he was giving the transmission of treasure of knowledge.
玉明问堪布仁波切 was doing retreat there。当堪布仁波切在那里做闭关的时候，正好雪谦寺的雪谦公主呢，她在给予这个窍诀宝藏论的口传。
And so that's why Triyana Rinpoche would like him to receive that transmission and then continue study in Dharma school.
是给予知识宝藏论的口传。那查列仁波切呢，就希望仁波切呢，堪布仁波切呢出来接受这个口传，然后呢去川古寺呢跟随川古仁波切学的佛学院学习。
So now is the dedication.
现在是回向的部分。
当觉的所见，当知内藏为，当把一切家给，当所见我。This holy Dharma is profound. Through pure holy Samaya, you, Samaya, you, holy being, were victorious. I dedicate this in threefold holiness.
这个回向文说，此圣法教甚深，以尽3昧耶力，贤者获胜如宁，3重殊胜回向。
So when we compose like this kind of, you could see in Tibetan liturgy, they are like, kind of dots, like it's almost like a home, right, top of the home. It's because we sometimes use same word like holy, holy, holy. This all Tamba means holy or genuine, and this is part of the skill of composure.
You mean the down, the small circle underneath down?
Mm-hmm.
Means emphasizing.
It's using same word, but it begins with the same word. It's kind of a style of composition.
OK，
skill of composition also.
那么说，你如果看这个藏文的寄颂，就是头一个字“当”字，它是圣，殊圣，它是真正的意思，纯正的意思。那这个“当”字下面都有一个小圈圈，这是作诗的一个技巧，也就是说每一个字都是每一句都是以这个字开头的。
So this holy Dharma is profound. Dharma is extremely profound. Then the second says, through pure holy samaya. But simply Dharma is profound is not sufficient. You have to have a pure samaya. And you, that's Kamasatyu, the second Kamasatyu, holy being, were victorious. Victorious from all the victorious from the impure samaya, victorious from challenges from his retreat. So he, even though physically he wasn't victorious, but practice of Dharma, he was victorious. So that's why we dedicate this and this threefold holinesses.
那这个回向的意思就是说，这个殊胜的法教是非常甚深的，但是仅仅有这个甚深的法教是不够的，还需要有清净的殊胜的三昧耶力，然后具足了三昧耶力，然后就是赞美这个伽玛萨楚说，像圣者您呢，战胜了这个闭关的各种种的暂时和这个身体的种种的挑战，终于成为胜利者，所以这三者呢都是。就是需要圆满的具足的，所以呢，把这三重的殊胜呢作为回向。
So we meditate 1 or 2 minutes by thinking of Kamasatyu, and regardless how he was look like, simply mixing our mind with his achievement or blessing, and then rest in our mind.
现在我们来稍微做禅修一两分钟，只是不需要知道伽玛萨楚他长得什么样子，只是把我们的心呢跟他的觉悟之心合二为一，然后我们安住几分钟。
Basically, through inspiration, we are inspired that he was very, tough and strong man, and would able to change that suffering into path. And we are inspired that he practiced, diligently using his strength. We are inspired that he finally achieved his, enlightenment. He gave rise to realization.
那就是因为伽玛赛楚他本身呢，是有非常强大的愿力，他是非常具足大力的，能够把自己所经受的痛苦呢转化为道用。他的这个榜样呢，激励着我们，希望呢，以他这个精进的力量，我们也能像他一样呢，升起正悟。
Everybody stop what you're doing and meditate.
现在大家都停下手里做的，开始禅修一下。
All right, now the third biography from Siddhas of God.
现在我们开始讲来自噶地大成就者的第3个故事。
And his name was Nankatapa.
这位成就者的名字叫南卡扎巴。
First pay homage.
首先是礼敬的部分。
You renounced all the spoils of existence. Your mind is moist with love and compassion. Holy One, you love beings as your own children. Please dwell, smiling in our hearts of faith.
那这个礼敬文呢，首先呢就说您圣者您，三有欲乐尽舍弃，身心尽染慈与悲，爱生如子贤者您，住屋心间展笑颜。
So now we begin with actual story, and those of you who have a book, it's page 9. Nankatapa was a monk of Chieku, a Sacha monastery. He was a hidden, actionless yogin with a tranquil demeanor.
那这个故事呢，如果大家有书的话，是在第9页。说呢，南开扎巴呢，他是萨迦的一座寺庙结古寺的僧人，他是一位举止娴静、无为的默默无闻的一个隐士。
So those of you been to Tango Monastery would recognize this Kieku Monastery. It's in Tango area, there are 3 kind of major monasteries within this area. The one is the Tango Monastery, one is Penchin Monastery of Sanji Nyemba Rinpoche or Tenga Rinpoche, and this Kieku Monastery of Sacha.
去过创古寺的法友应该对这个寺也比较熟悉，它是结古寺，就是在创古寺的当地呢，有3座大寺比较有名的大寺庙，一座是创古寺，一座是结古寺，另一座是桑杰年巴和本嘎仁波切的变迁寺。
And this picture is current of the monastery. After they rebuilt it after the earthquake happened.
大家看到的现在这个照片呢，是这个结古寺在地震之后重建的新的寺庙。
And Jeku Monastery have many masters. One of the master Nana was we call Dharmachakra.
结古寺有很多的大上师，有一位呢叫做迦那住古。
And historically, mentioned that Janachuku was sometimes reincarnate at its reincarnation sometimes go to different monasteries, so like eminent different masters. He was very close to Tangu Monastery.
迦那住古呢，他的这不同，他的那个很多的转世呢，都是在不同的寺庙和传承的。他跟创古寺呢是非常亲近的。
Those of you who have been to Chikun, there's nearby there's a very, very famous and big money pile, carved on stone.
去过结古的这个法友应该知道，它的附近呢有一个非常大的就是这玛尼堆，上面是石头上面刻满了这个六字大明咒。
And so now, regard with Nankatapa, Nankatapa undertook both renunciation and completion. After doing so, completion, he renounced even the use of earth, fire, or dwelling, as he had only one set of robes. They soon became ragged. He replaced them with a calf skin that covered his front and back. He had no shoes.
Lama, when you say took both renunciation, means he took the monastic vow and completion. What do you mean completion?
Yeah, I have to check in Tibetan word. I just saw it. How do I know? I should know before I thought I. So, Korani Badujitola. That is interesting. I love to find stuff.
Do you mean he take the full bhikshu vow?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
This is the Tibetan word. Like, how do you know? You read the Tibetan?
Yeah, because in Chinese, no.
That's good.
No. In Chinese, this full bhikshu vow called 具足戒 is kind of a completion. That's the meaning of completion, full.
Yeah, that's exactly, because it's when I read the English, I was a little stuck. So he renounced, became monk, and and also took the ordination, complete his ordination.
Yeah, so he took the both novice vow and the full bhikshu vow.
Yes.
Okay. 所以南喀扎巴他在受了沙弥戒和具足戒之后呢，他就完全放弃了使用任何的物资，他甚至放弃了使用炉灶和房舍，他只有一套僧衣，很快就变得破烂不堪了，他就换上了一张可以覆盖住他的前面和后面的小牛皮，那么他也没有鞋子。
And the summer he would journey to various isolated hermitages and allow insects to feed on his body.
到夏天呢，他就会去各种这个与世隔绝的这个闭关的地方，然后呢，让昆虫呢吃他的身体，咬他的身体。
When he returned to the villages in the winter, it was observed by everyone that his entire body was covered by insect bites. He would say, "This past summer, my whole body was bitten by insects."
当他冬天回到村庄里的时候呢，大家就发现他全身都布满了昆虫叮咬的痕迹。他就会说呢，今年夏天我的全身都被虫子咬了。
So Nankatapa was we are learning about Tongling meditation, through visualization, but Nankatapa was doing it.
我们是学习了自他交换法，我们只是在这个想象中修持，而南开扎巴呢，他是真实的去这样做的。
When he begged in the villages, he would only eat once a day. No one knew where he slept at night, except that he never slept in any villager's home.
他在村子里面乞食的，一天只吃一顿饭，也没有人知道他晚上睡在哪里，只知道他从来不睡在任何一位村民的家里。
He was always gentle and inspired everyone who met him. People often said he is not ordinary.
他总是非常的温和，鼓励着每一个遇见他的人。
Author's note.
然后作者的注释。
Authors, 我是 author, I have to meditate. I'm the author.
那么刚才说这个作者就指的是我，我得那个阐修一下，我是作者。
Because I love myself. I love. Say that, Lama.
他说因为我爱我自己。
It's very important. You treasure yourself, you love yourself, and the reason why we say love oneself, excuse me, is that it's not about arrogance. It's you treasure yourself, basically.
其实爱自己是非常重要的。我们并不是说要爱自己是要升起这个我慢，而是呢，你要珍惜自己。
We have to respect ourselves as especially Vajrayana practitioner, in the ultimate level, in pure perception, our body is full of deities, full of dakas, dakini. So we always have to respect ourselves. Self-hatred, and don't like oneself is an obstacle that in life.
我们要尊重自己，特别是金刚乘的行者呢，在究竟来说呢，我们的身体都是充满了就是本尊的，自我的这种厌恶啊，自我的鄙视呢，实际上是一个障碍。
And when he he was always gentle and inspired. Authors noted my aunt Pema Lachi met Nankatapa in her youth because he slept at the side of the road. She and other children used to throw stones at him, speaking kindly and without the slightest trace of anger. He would say, "Children, don't mistreat me."
这个作者注呢，拉玛嘎瓦的这个评论的评注呢，他说我的姑母，贝玛拉吉在年少的时候见过南卡扎巴，因为当时他睡在路边，这个姑母呢就和其他的孩子们经常向他扔石头，南卡扎巴呢却十分和蔼，不带一丝怒气，他会说呢，孩子们不要亏待我。
Yeah. Pema Lachi is Kemburumbuche's sister who done, according to her, she done 600 million Oman Peme home. But according to Kemburumbuche, because she doesn't sometimes maybe miscount such, she may finish 300 million Oman Peme home.
贝玛拉吉呢，她是堪布仁波切的妹妹，她呢，她说呢，据说是完成了这个6亿遍的六字大明咒，堪布仁波切说呢，根据堪布仁波切说，他可能记得有点错，应该是3亿。
But said, her count sometimes may not be accurate.
仁波切说也说他计数的方式不一定准确。
And later part of her life, when she was kind of sick, quite sick, and she was diagnosed, very high level of high, high blood pressure as well as diabetes, and the doctor, kind of mentioned that you may not live, too long. You may pass like within or 2 weeks or a month.
他晚年的时候就贝玛拉吉，他晚年的时候呢，得了高血压、糖尿病，等等很严重，然后医生就说你可能活不过2个星期了，或者2个月了那样。
And she called Rinpoche and myself, and she was basically saying that, please don't worry. I'm so happy that I met Khyentse Rinpoche and later part of her life, and able to recite a lot of Amana Peme home, and also she did 21 Tara prayers like every day, 21 times. So she said, I have no slightest fear, and I'm ready.
他给堪布卡的仁波切和我打电话呢，就说呢，不要担心，我就是非常幸运、非常高兴的呢，就在这个晚年呢，能够跟堪布卡的仁波切在一起，然后呢，他又念诵了这么多的玛尼，他每天呢念诵21度母礼赞文21遍，所以他说我心里一点都不害怕，我已经准备好了。
And after we talked, Rinpoche also, Rinpoche also told her that you are absolutely right, and everybody has to go through this death process, but you will be guided by Chinese Amitabha Tara. Don't worry.
仁波切呢就也跟他说，你完全正确，就是你是完全对的，然后你就是你已经就每个人都会经历这个死亡的过程的，你会这个诸佛菩萨会加持你、保佑你，你不用害怕。
Chinese
观音菩萨、
Amitabha and
观音菩
Tara.
萨、阿弥陀佛和这个度母呢会加持你的。
And then after we talked, she later mailed a picture of herself and Rinpoche, myself, and also write a letter. Once again, she stated that she's so thankful to Khyentse Rinpoche, and she loves me a lot, etc. Especially, she said, I have no any fear. I'm just so happy to go. And she basically said, I don't want to have any burden for my children, so that's good. She's going. No. She said something like, I don't want. Okay, this is maybe I say something different. I don't want to stay and see losing my children, so I go first is the best.
那他后来呢，又给我们寄来一张他和堪布仁波切和我在一起照的一张照片，就是也又一次表达了对堪布仁波切的感谢，也表达了对我的爱。然后呢，再一次的说呢，他一点也不害怕，已经非常的欢喜的离开，准备好欢欢喜喜的离开了。他说呢，基本就是他就不希望给孩子们添负担，他的意思就是说呢，就是希望他走在孩子们之前呢，他是非常欢喜的。
When he passed, and both his sons Kamapa and his family Gyatso Rinpoche happened to be in Varanasi Tanga Monastery and in India, and his sons Kamapa, Gyatso Rinpoche, Tanga Rinpoche, all Sangha members did special deceased ritual for her. So it was almost like a miracle that how I mean, like someone, my aunt, who a totally ordinary person, also have this opportunity to practice Dharma later part of his life. her life, and also at the time of the death, she had this hoa practice and also the deceased ritual practiced by his son Kamapa, his son Jatso Rinpoche, Tango Rinpoche, and all the monks in Kempo. So that's also truly shows the blessing of Dharma.
那当他去世的时候呢，正好法王噶玛巴、加萨仁波切呢，他们都同时在创古瓦拉纳西印度的这个创古寺里，然后他们就一起呢就做了特别殊胜的一个度亡的仪式，和破瓦法。这就像一个奇迹一样的，像我的婶婶贝玛拉吉呢，她是一个很平凡的凡夫，然后呢，只是在她生命的晚年的时候呢，做了一些佛法的修持，然后最后呢，她走的时候是这么的圆满，就是具足这个，就是这么多的法王噶玛巴、加萨仁波切、创古仁波切等等所有的僧众，包括堪布，都一起为他做了这个破瓦法。度亡法，所以这个就体现了这个佛法僧三宝的加持力。
And then book continues, when she later heard more about him, which is Nankatapa, my aunt regretted and confessed this. She told me this story herself.
那这个故事继续呢，这是我的姑姑。后来呢，当这个姑姑后来听到很多关于这个南卡扎巴的故事的时候呢，我的姑姑就十分的后悔，并且做了忏悔。这是她亲自给我讲的故事。
Regardless of the social standing of whomever he met, Nankatapa always spoke kindly to them. When he was around 60, he announced, I have now completed the deeds of Rinpoche. It is time for me to begin the life of a householder. When he went begging thereafter, unlike before, he asked for tea and scarves and carried a clay pot.
不管他遇到的人的社会地位是怎样的，那他扎巴呢总是很亲切的跟他们讲话。大约在他60岁的时候呢，他宣布说，我现在已经完成了一个出家者的生活了，是我开始在家生活的时候了。之后呢，他去乞食的时候就与之前有所不同。他会去讨要一些茶叶和围巾，并且带着一个陶罐。
In a field, he set up 3 rocks as a hearth and light a fire. He placed the clay pot on top of this and boiled some tea. Once the tea was ready, he drank a bit of it and poured the rest around the hearth. He then divided the tea leaves into 3 square portions, placed them on the 3 hot stones, and covered each of them with a scarf. He then announced, I have made a home.
然后呢，他呢就会在一块地里面呢放上3块石头当做灶石，就是当那个炉灶的那个基石，然后呢生一堆火，然后呢把陶罐呢放在上面煮一些茶，茶煮好以后他喝一点，把剩下的倒在壁炉的周围，然后呢他就把这个茶叶分成3个等份放在这3块灶石上，用围巾呢盖住每一块石头，他就宣布说呢，我已经有一个家了。
He did these things 108 times. Author's note. According to my guru, this was definitely skillful tantric behavior.
那他这样一共做了108遍，作者注呢就说，根据我的上师说呢，这一定是密续的一种方便的形式。
Finally, he asked the custodian,
Yeah, custody.
everything I need to do in this life is now done. So tonight, please allow me to sleep in the Kanju Jeku Prayer Wheel Temple.
最后呢，他问这个杰古斯的监院说：“我此生呢需要做的一切已经都做完了，所以今天晚上请允许我睡在杰古斯的转经房里吧。”
So if you look at the picture, this is a prayer wheel house, but it's not at Jeku. So prayer house is like this.
那大家看这个图片中呢，就是他是说的是一个转经房，这个不是杰古斯的转经房，但是一个转经房呢，看起来就是这样的。
Because Jeku, I was trying to get, there are so many prayer wheels, temples. So this is an example. So this kind of place where he asked if he could sleep there.
我试着想要去找到一张杰古寺的这个转经房的照片，但是有很多的转经房，所以这是转经房的一个样子，这是当时冈巴萨珠要求去就最后住的地方。
The custodian or the shrine keeper answered, "That wouldn't be right. You have a lot of lice."
这个监院或者是这个香灯师呢，就说呢，那可不行，你身上有很多虱子。
Nakatapa replied, "You would have been correct in the past, but now I have not even a single louse." Oh, I didn't know that. Louse, mice, mouse, lice, louse.
南开扎巴说呢，以前你可能是对的，但是现在我身上连一只虱子都没有。
In the end, he was allowed to sleep in the temple. On the next morning, when the custodian or shrine keeper next saw him, Nakatapa had passed away and was seated in the Vajra posture with his hands in equipoise. His body was floating an inch above his mat, which everyone there saw.
第二天早上，当这个监院或者香灯师又见到他的时候呢，南开扎巴已经圆寂了。他以金刚跏趺的姿势坐着，双手结着等持印。他的法体呢漂浮在垫子上，坐垫上面1英寸的地方，在场的每个人都看到了。
When his remains were cremated, his heart, tongue, and eyes emerged unburned from the fire.
当他的法体被荼逼的时候呢，他的心脏、舌头和眼睛呢没有被烧掉，从火里面露出来。
A statue of him was placed in the prayer well temple, and his heart, tongue, and eyes were placed in the statue. By that time, everyone realized that he had been a holy being. They regretfully confessed their previous treatment of him. His statue became their focus for the accumulation of merit.
后来人们就在转经房里就建了一尊他的雕像，把他的心脏、舌头和眼睛放在里面。到这个时候，每个人都意识到他是一位圣者，他们十分懊悔，纷纷忏悔了从前对待他的方式。他的雕像成为人们积累资粮的福田。
And when the masters like Nakatapa or others, sometimes when they cremate, they leave this, according to descriptions, like, eyes and heart and, skulls. They always leave this for the devotees or students.
像南开扎巴这样的大成就者，他们圆寂的时候呢，就是有的时候会把他们的心脏、眼睛，和这个头骨呢留下来，给这个信众。
When our beloved Rinpoche passed away, and he left his skull, and it's at his room at Kamale.
堪布仁波切走的时候，圆寂的时候呢，他的头骨是留下来了，现在在伽马令保存着。
And also, his Kabbalah or scholar has we call kapala has a piece kind of broken, and that piece has his arm here without burning or by the massive fire.
他的头骨上面有一片骨头呢掉下来了，有一片碎骨，上面还有他就是没有被烧掉的头发，就那么猛烈的火焰都还没有烧掉的头发。
And on his skull, Lobala also showed us an image of Hayadeva, the rightful form of Jainism.
他那个在他的那个颅骨上面呢，还浮现出这个阿亚德瓦是愤怒的观音菩萨的一个自然浮现的一个像。罗本拉当时指给我们看的。
Lama, did you say Ayadeva or Hayadeva?
Oh, what do Hayagriva? Hayagriva?
Yeah, Hayadeva.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't know.
No. Because sometimes the way I teach, it's hard to understand. And so,
sorry, can I make a correction? 就是那个 Hayagriva 是那个马头观音的这个雕像。
And so also, we Rinpoche, all of his relics. When we talk about relics, there are many forms of relics, like his everything used to become relics, like clothes, or if we collected his hairs, his bones from the fire. So that's why we built this various stupas.
当我们说到这个舍利的时候呢，就是所有这个圣者他用过的东西都可以叫做舍利，他的衣物，他的头发，他的遗骨，等等，所以这也是我们建了这么多这个舍利塔的原因。
So when we go to see his stupas like Khenpo Rinpoche, who were during his lifetime, he was a very complete master. And everybody knows that at the time of his passing, he was liberated. He was in meditation for almost a week, and then cremated, and also skull has the deities arises on skulls. So when you have this kind of master stupa built, when we go there, and making aspiration is extremely important.
那像堪布潘仁波切这样，他是这样一个成就者，大家呢都是知道的。然后当他去世的时候呢，就是圆寂的时候呢，他保持在这个禅定状态呢有7天之久。当他荼毗的之后呢，也留下了他的头骨和头骨上浮现的这个本尊的像。就是像他这样，如果在这样的成就者的舍利塔前面去发愿，都是有很大的加持力、很大的力量的。
And so finally, the dedication of Nangkatrapa's biography.
最后呢是这个南开扎巴的这个故事的回向部分。
Although you perfected the actions of the 6 paramitas, your actions for beings' benefit were unpredictable. Some judging you by your actions called you good or bad, but you proved to be beyond the actions of our judging minds.
那这个回向说呢，尊者您虽已圆满6种波罗蜜，立生事业方便离思意，臆测遵行妄言论好坏，就说有人随意的来评判您的言行是好是坏。尊者行仪俗心非可断，就说您的行仪呢，一般的世俗的心凡夫的心是难以判断的。
So this means that Nankatapa was, wearing like very dirty clothes, and he was just, wandering around. It's almost, it was begging, like kind of, people didn't take it seriously, but his compassion, only practice projected through his body, which means that they did see that he was calm, he was compassionate, he was always gentle.
南开扎巴呢，他呢总是穿着脏衣服四处的流浪，人们呢都很看不起他，但是他呢却是真实的在做着以慈悲心呢在做自他交换，他总是保持着这个平静，和慈悲心，就是对待他每一位遇到的人。
So especially he was mastered with bodhicitta and compassion, and he was able to let his body, enjoy, but those insects, and this only could do someone realized. And sometimes we watch something says, "Don't attempt if you are not trained." So those of us who might think, "Oh, that's maybe a good idea. I let ticks to eat my body," and you will have bad consequences.
那这个，像南给达扎巴这样的大成就者，他是已经完全娴熟的，圆满了菩提心和慈悲心的，所以呢，他能够呢，就是让自己的身体呢，就被那些昆虫去享用，蚊虫去叮咬，这种行为呢，是只有这种证悟的这个圣者才能够做出来的。我们呢，不要说看了以后就去这个盲目的去模仿，说哦，这看起来是个不错的主意，好主意啊，那我就让这个 tick 去咬我的身体吧。那样的话，你可能会得莱姆病吧，就是说会有很糟糕的结果。
Because through his practice, he was able to use his body. At the same time, he also know that that those insects will not take over his life, because if you purposely do something like someone take your life, but without protecting, also you are not respecting your body, and also if you somewhat intentionally don't protect your body, and die like that, is also consequence of killing yourself.
那他这样的去行持呢，他是知晓这些昆虫不会伤害他的生命的，就是如果我们不去保护自己的身体，不去尊重自己的身体的话呢，就是或者故意的去伤害它，故意的去就是造成这种死亡的结果呢，那是跟自杀也是没有什么差别的。
That is the story, third story. I totally understand that everybody, listening for 2 hours must be very tired, but at the same time, it's very, very inspiring for me, because when I go through the stories, and I remember all the accounts with Khenpo Rinpoche, I was always either I have my phone or I have a piece of paper to write this down with Rinpoche, and while experiencing the presence of him.
那我想呢，大家一连听2个小时呢是很累的，我非常的理解。但是呢，对我来说呢，就是在重温这些文字呢，对我来说是非常深受鼓舞的。我当时呢就想起来堪布仁波切说的话，我当时呢总是拿着我的手机或者拿着一纸呢在记录他说的话，这个就是这种感受呢是非常深的。
And now we do a few 1 or 2 minutes meditation. Think of Nankatapa, and meditate on compassion.
现在大家来做1-2分钟的禅修，意念着南开扎巴，并且专注在慈悲心上。
So you can meditate. May we also become like Nankatapa, who was mastered with compassion and downing practice. And I will send the supplication to Nankatapa.
大家可以思维着，就是我也希望，愿意像南开扎巴这样，成为这个慈悲心和这个自他交换的这个修持的成就者。那这是我来念诵南开扎巴的这个祈愿文。
Thank you. And we do have, I also would like to stick with schedule. We do have some time to ask questions, and please welcome any questions.
现在我们还有一些时间，大家可以来提一下问题，有没有什么问题？你可以把你的麦打开。You can unmute yourself.
Now it's time for you to talk. I talk too much. 现在是你可以说话，我说了差不多2个小时。
I want to thank you, Lama. When you chant, I truly feel blessed. It's wonderful. Thank you very much.
You are very welcome. Thank you for joining. 你可以说中文。那个我们这个世界说特别谢谢他，特别感动，还有留言。As Kemburimbachi always used to say that if you don't cry, you are not Kajuba. And Rinpoche is so strong, and whatever challenge he go through, he never, excuse me, never will, surrender, but he always surrender with gurus. When you talk about Gambopa or 16 Kamapa or 17 Kamapa, it's gurus. Lama Sonam, can you translate that?
Yeah. 刚才这个李理师姐非常感动啊，那么干嘛就说是我们堪布仁波切说过呢，说如果你眼睛里头没有热泪的话，就不是噶举的行者。虽然我们堪布仁波切自己呢一生经受过了无数的挑战，他从来没有就是受过他的就显示他软弱的一面，就是从来没有就是软弱过。但是呢，他每次提到他的上师，无论是说16世法王、17世法王、大宝法王、讲公仁波切等等，每次冈波巴等等，每次提到这些上师的时候，他总是眼睛里面会含着热泪的，总是就是显示出他柔软的一面。
And also, if Rinpoche hears somebody, okay, I just finished Undu practice, or I just finished whatever practice accomplishment you have, when you offer to Rinpoche, and Rinpoche immediately smile and also, join his hands together, and a tear comes from his eyes.
经常呢，就有人会以这个说，我做完了4加行了，或者我做完哪个修持了，去供养仁波切的时候，告诉仁波切他做完了，仁波切就马上就脸上会带着笑，然后合掌，就是眼睛里又就是好像又含着眼泪的样子。
So that's why, a lot of Rinpoche students, of course, it's very hard to lose Rinpoche, and but at the same time, we understand that the highest offering to Rinpoche is practice and do everything what we could do, do meritorious actions. That's the only way to please Rinpoche. So we always have opportunity to please Rinpoche, even if he is not present.
对仁波切的很多弟子来说呢，失去他真的是非常大的损失，是非常难过的。但是呢，就是最胜的供养呢是修持的供养。所以呢，我们即使仁波切已经不跟我们在一起了，但是呢，我们还是可以继续以我们的修持和我们所做的善业呢供养他。这是唯一能让仁波切欢喜的，就是尽管他不在了，但是我们还是能够让他欢喜的。
Next question.
下一个问题。
Rinpoche? Oh no, Lama Kama. Lama La. Lama La.
Rinpoche is there.
Right. And what I wanted to ask you I'm very moved to hear your stories, your memories of being with Rinpoche and what he told you and your way of being with him. That means a lot to me, these memories. I'm wondering, do you know when you said he was told to do 100 million of mantras, do you know what the mantra was? And also, do you know what Pema's, when she said that, remembered that she had done 600,000, but maybe only 300. Do you remember what was it a mantra? What was the mantra?
Lama Sonam?
他的问题呢，就是说，就是听着喇嘛给我们分享这些故事和以及他跟仁波切在一起的时候的故事，种种的回忆呢是非常感人的。然后呢，他问呢，就是当时仁波切终身闭关的时候说要也做了这个1亿遍的这个持诵的咒语是什么咒？然后呢？还说，贝玛拉吉他当时说做了这个6亿遍的，持了6亿遍的咒，持的是什么咒呢
？Very, very special mantra. Very Mani Padme Hum.
喇嘛说是特别的一个咒语，就是 Om Mani Padme Hum。
And both Khenpo Rinpoche and his sister, my aunt Pema, and also Khenpo Rinpoche's brother, Lama Sonam, another Lama Sonam.
Mhm.
Khenpo Rinpoche's brother, Lama Sonam, who is in a lifelong retreat at Namo Buddha in Nepal, is also reciting Om Mani Padme Hum.
Mhm. Mhm.
那就是堪布仁波切和贝玛拉吉，还有他的另外一位弟弟拉玛索纳，现在在南摩布达在创古寺那边在做这个终身的闭关，他们持的呢都是唵嘛呢叭咪吽。
And Lama Sonam said that he promised to recite 100 million from the previous Suru Rinpoche, one of Tangka Monastery Rinpoche, and he he was very busy. He didn't have time to recite, and but he always recite by his mouth, like not really counting, but always one pimel, and kind of people a little bit teased him, saying that you are like horse mouth,
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You mean Lama Sona chanted the 100 million for Suru Rinpoche, or he promised to chant?
He promised. Yeah.
Mhm.
Suru Rinpoche himself is busy.
Hmm?
Do you mean Lama Sona? He's always
Mhm.
chanting.
Yeah, he was always wanted to do 100 million mantra, but he never got chance to do retreat. So he always recited by mouth. Sometimes no
okay.
sound like horse that people tease.
Okay.
Mhm.
那这个拉玛索纳呢，他在就是创古寺的3大活佛之一的苏瑞仁波切面前呢，就是发愿呢，承诺要持诵1亿遍的玛尼，然后他没有时间专门做这个玛尼的闭关，专门来持诵玛尼咒，所以呢，他就平常呢就恒常的是在念诵这个持玛尼咒的中，他的嘴呢就像那个马在吃草的时候咀嚼的样子。
马不吃草的时候也是这样。
就像马的那个嘴一样，不吃草的时候也在咀嚼。
如果你看到马的话，这样，它一直都是动它的那个嘴巴。So, Lama Sonam, it's I mentioned earlier about aspiration because Lama Sonam Khenpo Rinpoche's a brother who, at the Tang monastery, he had a lot of work to do and cold weather, etc. So he always made the aspiration, may I able to go a place where I don't have to, it doesn't have to face weather change. So he said, he accomplished his aspiration because Nepal, it's almost 4 seasons same,
Mhm.
拉玛索纳呢，就是堪布仁波切这个弟弟呢，他在创古寺的时候，以前呢就发过愿，因为当时创古寺就工作非常的繁忙，天气也非常的冷，所以他当时一个愿望就是希望我能到一个地方呢去闭关呢，就这个地方天气就是不会有这么大的变化，这么寒冷。他说至少我现在这个愿望已经实现了，因为他现在在尼泊尔，这个地方呢四季都是如春的，就是四季都没什么变化。
So really, aspirations are extremely important, and Khenpo Rinpoche, I often share this. It's important practitioners to have some recognition of the nature of mind before we pass. So we have to, make aspiration through when you go to stupa or your own shrine. May I able to realize it.
所以说祈愿呢，发愿是非常重要的。堪布仁波切就总是说呢，说作为一个佛法的修行者来说呢，至少在死前呢，要认证自己的心性。所以你就要发这样的愿，无论是你去绕塔，你去朝圣，或者是在你的佛堂里面，无论何时何地呢，你都要发这个愿望。
And so Lama Sonam's case, he often had a little regret or like that I didn't get chance to visit Aman Peme home, made aspiration. One day I go to this kind of places, seasons does it change and able to reset Aman Peme home, which exactly happened to him.
那这个仁波切的弟弟拉玛孙呢，他的情形呢，就是他当时呢在川古寺总是特别忙碌，没有时间来持诵玛尼，或者是这个天气也特别寒冷，难做闭关，非常困难。他当时发的愿呢，就是说要到一个天气变化不大的地方，能够有机会来持诵玛尼，他的愿望就实现了。
So now he says, every time I talk to him, or he says, I'm the happiest person on the planet. I can't believe how happy I am.
那现在我每次跟他打电话联系的时候，他总是对我说呢，说我是这个地球上世界上最快乐的人，我简直难以想象我是这么的快乐。
And so he already done, I think he's very humble. And when Kimbermich was present, Kimbermich kind of teasing him and say, now it's been like 10 years. Where's your money? 100 million money. And he was, I'm just sleeping. But then before Rinpoche passed away, I accomplished one already. So he accomplished 1 or 200 million already.
那么索呢，他自己呢是非常的谦逊的，当堪布仁波切在的时候呢，就有的时候就会跟他开玩笑，就说现在已经过了10年了，你的这个1亿玛尼在哪儿呢？他自己就会自谦的说，哎呀，我都睡觉了，都那个什么。但是仁波切去世之前呢，他就是告诉仁波切说他已经完成了1遍了，就是完成了这1亿了，他还在继续做第2遍，他已经差不多完成了2遍了，现在。
Lama, this is interesting. I'm trying to see the chat. I can see some people typed, but I can't.
Let me see.
It doesn't open.
I didn't see any message.
Oh, I saw the 2.
If they only sent to you, I couldn't see it.
Oh, I don't see it for me either. So now I would like to dedicate the merit of today's teaching for the benefit of all sentient beings. Especially, we sincerely dedicate this to what's going on out there. Every day the news about killing each other in the war zone. Nobody's winning. Everybody's all those people, innocent people dying, and they need a lot of prayers. So we dedicate the merit for all of them.
我们现在来做回向，把我们今天的文法的所有的功德呢，回向给所有的众生。特别是呢，现在世间充满了种种战争的消息，种种的灾难，谁也没有获得胜利，但是却有人不断的死亡。所以这些众生呢，是需要我们的回向的。
Lama, excuse me.
Lily?
Could dedicate to my aunt. She just passed away yesterday.
Oh, I'm sorry.
By the COVID, it just suddenly, she went to bed, was fine, just to feel a little bit sick. But in the morning, next morning,
her name?
Passed away. Pei Tian Lu.
Pei Tian Lu, yes, definitely. Let's dedicate for Pei Tian Lu.
Suddenly, just suddenly, just one night, then no tomorrow.
Yeah, that's I sorry condolences to you, and we dedicate for Pendulin.
Thank you. Pei Tian Lu.
Pei Tian Lu.
Thank you.
Thank you. Amasona.
丽丽说她回向给她的婶婶，是婶婶吗？
Yes.
她的婶婶得了这个新冠，然后前一天晚上还只是有一点不舒服，第2天早晨就人就走了，所以特别突然，希望大家回向给她往生极乐世界。
Yeah, life is like that, it's so fragile, and we dedicate for her and also where I would like to offer this merit to my Guru Khyentse, and 100% he's smiling from wherever he's benefiting sentient beings, and saying that we are studying about these great masters and taking them example and following their footsteps.
Lama, can I say one thing, please?
Sure.
Yes. With COVID, when there is complication, high COVID, I tried to have a little bit like this of vinegar. It's an ancient recipe of monks, and also my uncle that has dedicated his life, is his doctor, professor, to viruses. He says the vinegar is going to give a lot of work to viruses. So it's something that very simple that maybe can be tried, but not abused, because we know vinegar cannot be drink because it reduces blood cells, red cells. But for once or twice or three times, it can be done. Just
You mean drink some vinegar?
It's something, it's not medicine, but it's something that it may help. It may help. If it helps, it's okay. If it doesn't help,
vinegar.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you mean drink some vinegar?
It's just a little cup of coffee, like a small one, like this. That very little,
Okay.
like 3 spoons or 4 spoons, something like that. Soup spoons, little. Just try.
Thank you.
那么巴桑师姐她是说呢，就建议大家新冠呢可以喝一点醋。她说，她的叔叔是这个医生还是什么，说是有一点用的。那么刚才说的呢是说，就是我们回向给这个绿地的婶婶，然后回向给所有这些受苦的人和中阴界的众生。然后喇嘛说呢，他就说他100%的相信呢，我。特别回向给堪布卡达仁波切，他100%的相信呢，堪布卡达仁波切现在在他利益众生的处所呢，他会微笑着看着我们，他会就是因为我们在学习这些圣者的故事，追寻着圣者的足迹，仁波切呢，他一定是会非常欢喜的。
Let's see. Let's do prayer. Chandra Ganja Jime Labara Tajo Jambala Jedra Jamba Ganda Zombo Deo De Tera Ganja Jesus Dala Jawa Dela Tanjera Sonam Tanjera Done Nibadana Bande Yaga Nanje Bala Dravai Siva Zolendo Ganya Doyo. Thank you very much, everybody.